This is Lizz Grace Christie of Galactic Mythology, bringing you another Weekend Goddess report. Before we dive into this weekend's cosmic currents, I want to start with a heartfelt public service announcement. If you have been following me for a while, you know that this podcast is a labor of love. It's born from my passion for astrology, mythology, and esoterica, as well as my deep calling to explore creative expression through my voice. This space, Galactic Mythology, and this podcast, it's the fruit of that exploration, a reflection of my journey. Before I came to be your celestial guide, I was, and I still am, a freelance artist. My expertise lies in textiles and fashion design. And yes, I do have a degree. It's a bachelor's degree in art with an emphasis in fiber. Over the years, I've poured my heart into creating wearable art by hand-making clothes from scratch, from a bolt of fabric to a fully three-dimensional piece of clothing. I've been selling my clothes mostly online and in person at local venues here in Portland, Oregon. But life certainly is an evolution, isn't it? I've been transitioning from one chapter of my career to another, recently making more space for astrology, a passion that's deeply meaningful to me, and I plan to embark on an exciting new academic journey as well. I'm preparing to return to university, this time to pursue psychology. Ultimately, I'm inspired to go further to pursue a doctorate, where I can truly fuse the realms of science and spirit, offering deeper, more transformative guidance through my work. Now here's the reality. I'm a freelancer, and I've learned how to make ends meet. But your support makes all the difference, whether that's through financial means or metaphysical means. Let me explain more. Financial support would look like you booking an astrological consultation with me through my website, galacticmythology.com, where I offer live video sessions and pre-recorded videos tailored to your astrological needs. Furthermore, you could buy me a coffee, such as through buymeacoffee.com. It's an easy way to donate a small amount, like $5, to help fuel creative projects like this one. You'll find links for my website, galacticmythology.com, as well as Buy Me a Coffee in the show notes below. Metaphysical support would look like you liking, commenting, or sharing this podcast, as well as becoming a subscriber if you are not already. Every gesture matters. Each action, big or small, helps me continue creating and sharing this content with you and the world. I want you to know I have no plans to give up on my dreams anytime soon, but let's be real for a moment. I am an American and I live within a capitalistic society that has rules and bills to pay. Your support, whether it's financial, metaphysical, or both, allows me to play this game with more ease and greater intention. And for that, I thank you. Let's get into this weekend, December 6th through December 9th. This weekend carries an especially mystical essence. I see it and I feel it deeply through the charts for the days ahead. Neptune and the lunar nodes are drawing closer together, their proximity growing in significance. It's a beautiful moment to reflect as the lunar nodes prepare to ingress into the Virgo-Pisces axis. In this cosmic dance, the North Node gets an intimate moment with Neptune, a planet of profound spiritual wisdom. Neptune reflects a higher version of ourselves, a luminous, less dense expression of our being, a higher octave, not better, just higher. It whispers the timeless truth, I am that I am. Over the past 2 months, we've been acutely immersed in shadow work, diving deep into the scorpionic underworld. Now, as we move further into Sagittarius season, the energy thickens, and the planets are leaving behind their dynamic ties to Scorpio. Sagittarius season invites us to look forward, to witness a future starting to crystallize before us. Even as the Northern Hemisphere prepares to embrace the introspection of fall and winter, our imaginations, along with our beliefs, can make up for the light being missed throughout these visibly dull months. Let's tap back into the lunar nodes. The North Node remains in Aries for now, ingressing into Pisces around the 7th of January 2025. Yet, the mystical and magical underbelly of Pisces is beginning to emerge in the mundane aspects of our lives. This is because Neptune and the North Node are currently within 6 degrees of each other. This connection is potent, especially when considering that Neptune is set to station direct this weekend, late Saturday into early Sunday, Pacific Standard Time. This close 6-degree orb amplifies the synergy between Neptune's spiritual wisdom and the North Node's karmic trajectory. Together, they inspire a weekend rich with magnetism, spiritual progress, and perhaps even destiny-laden encounters. Despite Mercury retrograde conjunct the Sun and Mars retrograde in Leo attempting to slow things down, the energy of this weekend feels unstoppable, a quickening of sorts. For those attuned to dimensions beyond the mundane, this weekend offers opportunities for deep spiritual progress and breakthroughs. However, for those who remain rooted in the fourth dimension or below, these energetic subtleties might go unnoticed. For those of us who have been doing the inner work, confronting demons from within and from without, you may find yourself facing some familiar challenges. But this time, they absolutely do not scare you, and you are able to flip the script into a higher octave. Whatever unfolds during this time will ripple into the coming week with lasting impact. By the end of the weekend on Sunday, December 8th, we, as a collective, will be confronted with a first quarter square moon in the sign of Pisces at the 17th degree. This means the moon will square the sun, positioned at the 17th degree of Sagittarius. However, this first quarter moon is not squaring the sun alone. Saturn is there, inching forward through the mid-degrees of Pisces. Saturn is stepping in to ensure quality control as we transition into the next week. Adding to the cosmic drama, early in the hours of Monday, December 9th, the moon lingers in the late degrees of Pisces. Around this time, it aligns with the iconic Neptune hovering near the 27th degree. This celestial company that the moon keeps close to her side over Saturday and Sunday are greatly significant. And yes, it is significant to you. But first, let's dive into the meaning of the crisis moon phase. This phase signals the lunar node stationing direct and inching slightly forward over the course of about 3 days. Presently, the lunar nodes are set to station direct and travel forward between the dates of December 8th through to about December 11th. And if you've been tuning in weekly, you already know what that implies: a karmic pause. A great time for exploring and confronting challenges for the better. Now, I'm assigning you some light homework for the weekend. By Monday evening, take a moment to reflect on your experiences from Friday, December 6th through Sunday, December 8th. Ask yourself a series of questions, all revolving around connections. Who were the beings that you encountered? Were they animal, human, or perhaps something from the beyond? Have you met this being before? Did you plan to meet up with this being or beings? Or was it a hand of fate that brought you together? This weekend's astrology asks us to pay attention to the beings we cross paths with, whether by design or by effortless serendipity. Sometimes the answers to life's pressing questions arrive not in grand gestures, but in the subtle synchronicities we're nudged to notice. This is a great weekend to connect with your soulmates and soul groups. You'll know if you have accomplished connecting with such kind, because on Monday, if you do your homework, you will acknowledge that these connections you encountered over the weekend seem to occur effortlessly, as if guided not by your conscious ego's attention, but by the hand of an unseen force. Well, yes, that's because they were guided by the hands and eyes of the unseen. For weeks now, the universe has been orchestrating synchronicities to ensure we align with those we need to meet the most at this time, even if that alignment indicates spending the weekend in your own sacred company. If you've been tending to your shadow work and aligning with the underworld cycles of the cosmos, and I would venture to say that you have, especially since you're tuning into this podcast, then you are prepared for this quickening/thickening of etheric energies. All right, enough preamble. Let's dive into the interpretations, at least whatever is left of them. I feel like I've gotten a lot out in the intro. Since this is a goddess report, I'll bring in some asteroids. Ceres and Venus cross the Aquarius threshold this weekend, which only emphasizes the quickening notion. Both Ceres and Venus will have a little chat with Pluto before entering the threshold. Last weekend, I mentioned that Venus meets up with Pluto first. My thoughts are that Venus is softening Pluto up for Ceres' arrival. Things have been tense in Pluto's world, which is nothing unusual. However, Pluto is going to be under attack by Mars in Leo pretty soon. Mars, stationing retrograde on Friday, indicates that Mars is setting his sails for his revenge. He plans to visit Pluto's territory twice more before he is through with the king of the underworld. Mars was spying on Venus and Ceres last weekend in an odd out-of-sign opposition. This weekend, Venus and Ceres, now entering the Aquarius threshold, can see Mars and his binoculars across the way in Leo very clearly. Instead of reacting, they are using this intel to their advantage. Mars is weaker when retrograde, and therefore Venus and Ceres have an advantage over his advances. It appears that Venus, Ceres, and Pluto are working together. None of them trust Mars, and that is where they all hold a common thread for this alliance. Mars going retrograde on Friday means the start of his journey back to the 17th degree of Cancer, a point in space that is trine to where our moon is going to be on December 8th. I would mark your calendars for February 23rd, 2025, because that is when Mars will station direct in the 17th degree of Cancer. Reflections of your emotional intelligence, the beings you encountered this weekend, and the choices you made or didn't make will have influence over you. And you will see glimmers of this weekend in February when Mars stations direct. There is a lot of water in everything that I have discussed today, and water is symbolic of emotions. Water molecules can hold electromagnetic frequencies and change shape dependent upon the information of that frequency. We are physically transmitting to our future selves this weekend through the challenges we encounter and then handle with grace. Free will is a wonderful majesty. All that you are is right in front of you as long as you are tuned in from within. This weekend, December 6th through December 9th, is an excellent time to be proud of your psychic gifts and to be in awe of the magic that surrounds you, in all the people you encounter, the sights you see, and in the information you digest. I'm going to end here, and I hope that this podcast leaves you curious and in awe with what majesty your higher self has in store for you this weekend. I encourage you to tune in next weekend. And as always, I encourage you to take what resonates with you and leave the rest behind. I am Lizz Grace Christie of Galactic Mythology, and I am sending you so much love. See you next weekend. Bye.